welcome back to my channel. If you are here in today's video, I am going to be talking about my labor and delivery story. So if you're interested, just keep watching, but before that, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I have this little notebook right here with me, and I just jot down all the points because I know if I start talking about my story, I'm going to get too excited. I might miss out certain parts of it, and I don't want to do that. But before I jump into that, let me just tell you to go over to Kenisha Says YouTube channel. Her name is Kenisha Says, and she is a fellow Jamaican YouTuber, and she talks about everything womanhood. She talks about parenting, she talks about shopping, she talks about just whole life experiences. Let's go over to her channel, check her out, and tell her I sent you. Yes. So let's jump right into my labor and delivery story. Let me open up the book. So I went to my doctor's appointment. My doctor's appointment was on March 2nd. I'm looking down so I don't forget because it's been a little while and my memory is not there. So I went to the doctor March 2nd and did my regular routine checkup. I believe that day I was supposed to also get my membrane swept, and when I went to the doctor and we did the checkups and everything, they did my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was really high, like super high, the highest it has been throughout my pregnancy. It was like 160. I don't remember the bottom number, but the top number was 160, right? So before going to the doctor though, I went to have breakfast and I was running short on time, so I was rushing for my appointment. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why my blood pressure was a little bit high, because you know I was rushing to get there. So I asked him to check it again. So they let me sit there for about 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes then they went ahead and rechecked my blood pressure, and it was at 140, and it was still high, but it wasn't as high as it was. So he told me to, after this appointment, just go straight to the hospital. He sent me to the hospital, and then he told me you know, just go straight to the hospital, don't stop, and for them to monitor me, like do a blood pressure, like monitor my blood pressure, and also they did some blood work, and also they did a urine test. Okay, so when I went to the hospital, they did the blood work, I guess a test for hypertension. That result came back negative, so everything was good. They did my urine test, and I guess everything that they checked for the urine, that was good as well. When they checked my blood pressure again, it was at 140 something. So they wanted to monitor me, so blood pressure test every hour, and they wanted to make sure that my blood pressure was staying the same numbers, I guess. So the first time they checked it, it was up. The second time they checked it, and they did this every hour. The second time they checked it, it went down, but by a few numbers. And then the other time they checked it, it went back up. So at this point, they decided, I think they called my doctor, and you know, they talked back there, and then they decided to keep me in the hospital. So that night, I think I end up getting a room, like a room downstairs, around 10 o'clock that night. And by, you know, monitoring me and everything, they decided to keep me there. So I was admitted to go in and start the whole process of my labor. Also, I was already dilated like 3 centimeters from my doctors from my last appointment. When they checked me at the hospital that night as well, I was still at 3 centimeters. I'm trying to remember. Yes. So when they got me in the room, you know, they tell me go ahead and take your clothes off, put on the hospital gown, you know, and just get comfortable. And you know, I was just there in the hospital room. I think I spent an hour in that room downstairs, and then after that they transferred me upstairs to the room that I would be delivering baby. Okay, so after getting upstairs now, and this is in the room that I was gonna deliver the baby, you know, they get you hooked up to an IV. They also they checked me again, and I think I was at 3.5 centimeters that time, so I wasn't really making any progress much, and also I wasn't having any contractions. Yeah, I wasn't, no contractions, my water didn't break or anything. So they hooked me up to the IV, and they had a hard time finding my veins because these hands they pulled me like 4, 5, I'm not even sure. They pulled me so many times. So I was hooked up to the monitor to check the baby heartbeat, to check contractions, and I guess my heartbeat as well. Since I wasn't having any contraction, they were trying so many ways how to get me to start having contractions, you know, naturally. So the first thing that they did was they brought in a breast pump, and I guess that kind of stimulate the so while I was doing the breast pump, I was having contractions, but as I stopped doing the breast pump, there was nothing. So I did the breast pump like every 20 minutes on one, and then 20 minutes on the next one, and then I would take a break, and I was just not having any contractions like naturally, like once I was off, you know, trying to pump. After that, they brought me a peanut ball, and I did the peanut ball rotate on both sides while I was in the bed, and that's to help open up your cervix. I also did exercises while I was in there. I walked around the hospital, I did squats, I did a whole bunch of different movements. I did the bouncy, the exercise ball. I did so many things to try to help my body to go into labor naturally. I mean, not into labor, but help my body to start having contractions naturally, but nothing was working, and I was just getting so exhausted. The next option for me to try was the Foley ball, and that is a balloon that they insert up inside, and then they also have like a little hose that, you know, stays outside, and they insert, I mean, they fill up the balloon with saline, I believe, and what that is supposed to kind of rest on your cervix, apply pressure to your cervix to open up and help your contraction to start. So I did that, and I had that in for a long time, and nothing happened. Like, my body was just not having it. Like, no. After trying all of that, after trying all the exercises, the squats, doing the exercise ball, the peanut ball, the Foley, oh, I forgot to mention, they also did I forgot what it's called, but they inserted something down there to make you use the bathroom, and that's also supposed to help to start contractions. They did that, they inserted it. I had to hold it in for like 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes I had to go to the bathroom. Nothing happened after that. No contractions started, nothing. So after all of that being done, and all, you know, I was just so exhausted. I was tired. I was over it. I was just ready to have this baby. So the next option was to that the midwife suggests that I could hand over my care to the hospital, since the hospital do give their patients that were successful VBACs or who had C-section, they gave them Pitocin. Doctor's office that I go to, or the practice I must say that I go to, they do not believe in giving their patients Pitocin, and that's just patient who had a C-section. So they don't believe in giving their patients Pitocin who had a C-section because it can cause rupture or scar rupture. But I had a successful VBAC, and what a VBAC is, a vaginal birth after having a C-section. So with my first child, I had a regular delivery, vaginal delivery. The second one was a C-section, and my third one was a VBAC. And my third one was very successful. So I thought that my body could handle it, and it's been over 11 years since I had my my C-section. So I really wanted to get the Pitocin since my body wasn't going into labor naturally. I really wanted to get the Pitocin to, you know, to help to induce my labor. Because what the Pitocin is it's a medication that helps your body to produce oxytocin, which helps induce your labor. So I had to go ahead and hand over my delivery to the hospital, in which they did give their patients Pitocin who had a VBAC. Over my care, and then after that I got my epidural, I got my Pitocin, and I took a nap for like 20 minutes, and then the Pitocin was just kicking in like that. I was having contractions, I was dilating really fast, so all my body needed was just a little push of the Pitocin, because once they hooked me up to the Pitocin, like my body was just going so fast, they had to like stop the medication from coming into my body. So they had to stop, and I was just ready to have the baby. So I think I did around 5 pushes. Yeah, I did like 5 strong pushes, and baby girl was here, and I was just so happy, so exhausted, and I was just glad that everything was over with and baby girl was here. And yeah, so that is my labor and delivery story, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like my channel, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, and you can drop a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video.